everybody, welcome back to James Plays Obduction. Last time we made some progress in our exploration of this world, which I believe is called Kaptar. We broke the membrane that prevented us from teleporting along the sides of the dome. We went somewhere and then we traveled via chain back over here, which moved something out of the way down here. So now we are on this side of the trench where we couldn't get before. Hopefully that means we've got lots of things to explore and mysteries that will be solved and all that good stuff. I'm gonna get away from this because it is kind of loud in my ears. So here we go. We got stairs over here. And these... what am I going to find up here? This looks like this came from another world. Anytime you see something that looks like somebody just grabbed a ball of stuff out or placed a ball of stuff in, it's from a different world. So... okay, we got stairs over here. Is there anything, like, in the little nooks and crannies to... can't even get over there. Alright. So we got some stairs over that way. We got this. We got the outside over there. And I'm not seeing anything up here. Just all blocked off with the rubble and... alright. Here, take a little peek-see. Okay. And these are also connected, okay. Yeah, okay. I just kind of realized what I'm looking at here. Alright then. So... is this anything for me to worry about, or is it just for show? Okay, this goes further out that way. And then, what do we have over here? Anything? Can't tell if this is meant to be showing me, like, a path or something that I'm gonna be trying to reach, or what. Because there's nothing out here, and there's no, like, explicit, like, anything. I'm just seeing the world, but this is kind of, like, framed in my view. So, just something to keep in mind, I suppose. So, as I said, we've got a little thing that way, but I do want to go back out the other way and see what there is there. Last time I mentioned, to nobody's surprise, that I do have a problem with sense of direction. And it's really bad to the point where even I have to acknowledge it. I think part of why it's so bad is I don't get to spend as much time with these games as I would like. For example, I'm recording this right now about a week after the last video. So that means I've given myself a whole 7+ days to just forget what everything looks like and how everything's connected. I just don't have the opportunities to just sit there and do a whole bunch of recordings in a day, and then the next day, and then the next and stuff. So things fade from memory for me, and I know that's not how it's going to be for everybody. You know, you're watching these videos every 4 to 5 days, and you might remember things pretty well from the last video to the next. So you can't relate. But for me, it's just... yeah. Anyway, this is quite a thing that we're... more of those bugs, which we were seeing in Hunrath. I think it's the same bug. I feel like I chose wrong when it comes to going places. When I have multiple branching paths and I don't know which one to pick, I always worry that I picked the one that I'm not supposed to go to first. So we had that other little section there, and I'm so tempted to run back and peek at it, because this is going way farther than I anticipated. Oh yeah, this is... okay, yeah. We're definitely gonna go back. It's just that with, all kinds of games, really, but with the adventure stuff where you're looking for clues and trying to solve puzzles and get information and all that stuff, I feel like if I keep going down that path and I touch the edge of the dome and I teleport somewhere else, and I'm just going along a path, I could forget that this exists, or there could be information here that I need in order to do something down the more elaborate path. So now we can see what we're dealing with. Okay, it's a door, and it appears to be locked from the other side. Now we know what we're dealing with. Okay? And I think that's important. It's not that I'm trying to be scatterbrained or anything where, oh, I've got ADHD and I just can't focus on one thing. I'm jumping from one to another or something like that. It's that I just worry about being too laser focused on just sticking with a course of action that I end up ignoring, possibly forgetting, possibly missing things that were along the way, or alternate paths and stuff. Maybe that is ADHD. I really don't know. I think more I just worry about doing a good job and I overthink things, but, you know, a couple seconds for you, for me to go back there and check, and just a couple more seconds for me to get back here and everything. Speedrun strats of running while holding forward and left or right really make things go quick. Okay. So we are somewhere else. I'm gonna check my photos. Hopefully this works and doesn't break anything. I mean, there's a reason we're taking them. Okay. So. We appear to be in this area, or we just were. Here's the tree right at the center of everything, makes sense. And we went down this path, and we teleported from here. I think somewhere in this vicinity here. if that matches up. I don't mean to keep going over that way with the arrow popping up, sorry. I'm just trying to draw as straight a line in my brain. Okay. Now the other path, the one that was blocked off, would be something like this. Looks like we've got a teleport point here. So looks like we got a couple over here as well. Presumably, I gotta come at this from like this direction to open this door. And this would also allow me to get to the tree. Or possibly I warp into this point, and then we've got the 3 paths. Yeah, I'm not, maybe it has something to do with this and that Russian device that I could not quite sort out. Maybe we'll get more information about that soon. But we kind of have a vague understanding of where we currently are. It seems to be very much separated from the rest of our exploration of this planet. There's another one of them spherical designs. Looks very out of place, don't it? So, we do have some things to think about when it comes to the lore of all of this. If the people of Hunrath basically took control of the tree to prevent it from spawning seeds, to prevent it from finding people and teleporting them off Earth or off wherever, how did we encounter one and end up in Hunrath? I don't have an answer, except that it would seem maybe somebody would have had to have activated things long enough to grab somebody and then shut it all back down. If I were to, you know, make guesses of that sort, you know? We have CW just tucked away in his little vault, and everybody else is gone. Presumably off to another world that we have not yet been able to properly explore, but is it... I hate to just make a call here and say that CW's a bad guy, because I don't know if he's really done anything bad. He could be deceiving us to help him with something. He could be responsible for how we ended up here in the first place. I don't know. I think it would actually be kind of nice if he was just totally on the up and up. Cool dude. We're close to the wall, but can't reach the wall. Alright, so we do have 2 devices. Is there a third? think I'm starting to realize something. I mean, we're inside a dome. So all of this came from another world. And the outside with the lush greenery and everything, that's Kaptar. And this is from someplace else. It's like jumbling puzzles pieces together. You ever see that? Where companies, they use the same cuts for making jigsaw puzzle pieces for various pictures. So people will combine multiple puzzles together because they all use the same shaped pieces. It's kind of what this is. Alright, what should we do? Looks like we just have the 2 that we have access to. I think that's what it showed on the map as well. We'll start with this. And see what this looks like for us. I like this element of, like, the different pieces of different worlds just, like, swapped around and stuff. It's kind of makes me feel like I'm on a mission to put things back in their place. But at the same time, it can be also very disorienting and overwhelming. So, yeah, I think I know where we are. Pretty darn sure I know where we are. But the problem is I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Maybe I'm not supposed to yet. If this is used for a numbering system, and this looks like it's a grid for just a single number, maybe 2, it's smaller than the one that we used for 3 numbers. I just don't know what that number would be. So we'll have to wait on that a moment. And we'll go back and check the other teleporter. We have had some information on the numbering system, the alien communication devices and such like that. I don't think it's enough for me to devise, like, you know, fill in the blanks on counting out all the numbers for myself. So if there's something here that said, oh, you have to put in the alien number for 7 or something, and I had to figure that out based on the notes I have, I feel like I don't have enough knowledge. Now this looks a little bit like Hunrath. Got the rust red rock there, but Okay. Yeah. I've no idea where the hell this is. Oh, yes, I do know where the hell this is. Hi, Farley's house. There we go. So, could this be considered a vault where they put stuff to safely store it? And then use that to create a barrier that nobody could get past. Okay, this is why they stopped making die-cast action figures. They rust. Do they, actually? Die-cast metal figurines? I would think they would. This guy's in mostly decent shape. Can I wind it? No. And here's you. I both like and dislike that they do this. I like that they've got all these little details, make the worlds feel a bit more... just that they have stuff in them to look at and appreciate. But also, I worry that there's clues in everything. A lot of the time there isn't, but there could be. You know what I mean? You overthink, you overanalyze. Oh. I don't know. I mean, this looks like it's curious, you know, that it's got a design, and I wonder if that's supposed to be something that I'll need to remember. There's that overthinking. It wants me to interact with this, but... doesn't give me any cue or anything to interact with it, like how to maneuver, manipulate. It's a harp, but I don't think I'm making any harp noises. I just hear the slightly unnerving music. Can I pull this one out? Okay. CF. Caroline Farley, I think the name was? I don't know why you would have something like this in your room. That would freak me out in the middle of the night. Forget it was there. Especially so close to the bed. Okay. JM? Your dual-gendered scissors, as you have. I don't know what to make of that. Oh. Okay. The Villain. I can't find the words. It's such a foreign life cycle, or perhaps not. They launch themselves across the expanses of space, preserved for eons, until at last their technological arcs can hone in and carry them to a new home. They have no connection with their predecessors, but in spite of this, perhaps because of this, they have amazing recollections of their history. Their stories are epic, reaching back through the eons. Unlike many of us who were abducted, they were abducted as a whole. Their scoop moved an entire facility that was about to be annihilated. I've come to believe that they, perhaps more than any of us, have a deeper understanding of whatever the strange system is that we find ourselves in. I need to write this down. We buried Ji-Yun today. This place never really agreed with her. Kept to herself mostly. Depressed and downcast. Anyway, I digress. I stayed after the brief words were spoken. I was the last to leave. I wandered to the dome, as I often do, and looked out at the undulating saurian weirdness beyond the cell wall. Movement caught my eye. Now, on very rare occasions, we've seen Mofang scrambling about in the distance, but there have been fewer and fewer sightings over the years. But before me was a tall, haggard Mofang running desperately, almost directly toward me from one of the distant structures. It, I still can't tell the gender, got closer and closer. I thought it would see me and stop or turn around, or be curious about this strange dome and our world inside it, but it continued running quickly, almost directly to my position. I was frozen in place with curiosity until my reflexes took over at the last moment, and I leapt out of the way. But rather than hit the dome and fall backward, or come through into Hunrath, the dome flashed its familiar tone, and the Mofang vanished. I was stunned for a bit, but retrieved my wits and stepped into the dome myself to quickly get to the other side. After getting through, I immediately turned around and saw the Mofang outside on the other side of the dome, still running away from whatever it feared, but as if it had no sense of passing around the dome. As surprising as the event was, it did serve to settle a few things in my mind. I always wondered how no one on Earth noticed what had replaced this chunk of Arizona we have here. I've got to vent. Again, there are those who argue with me. Over and over, I demonstrate that in almost every case, whatever the process was that brought us here, it occurred at a pivotal moment. At a pivotal moment. They tell their stories and they still can't admit that the abduction actually saved each of us. All of us. What is it in human nature that grafts so strongly to the past that we blame our saviors for stealing it from us? Okay, just one more vent before bed. If each of us was individually saved from something, maybe all of us were corporately saved from something larger. Can we really be sure what's left? And this, the arrivers come from various places and times. Sarah got here almost 15 years ago from the year 2055. And Uziel got here 2.5 years ago from 1942. What does that mean? Time here is shuffled and chaotic compared to Earth. What state is Earth in right now? When is Earth right now? It's 3:15 a.m. and I feel compelled to journal this craziness. After spending most of yesterday meditating with the Arai, and then most of this evening discussing the nature of these worlds with CW, I had just a sip of infamous Hunrath hooch and collapsed in my chair. Well, I just awoke from a dream. I'm not one who puts a lot of credibility in dreams, but maybe the Arai were able to move something in me to understand. Possibly because of the intense discussion, my subconscious mind was triggered to be able to sort out some logical connections. Maybe it was the hooch. The dream. I was tending a garden, an immense garden, and it wasn't for food or flowers, it was just about the health of the garden. I kept working and working to control it and contain it and make it healthier, but the garden seemed to fight me at every turn. And after what seemed like days of work, I finally gave up in frustration. As I stood there, doing nothing, the garden flourished before my eyes, growing and spreading in every direction. Because, I realized, the system that the plants were based on was not about me shaping and controlling. The natural system of plants is healthier when they are out of control, when they are free to spread and intermingle and cross-pollinate and mutate. Now, from a human point of view, that may not provide what I want. I get smaller fruit and smaller flowers and untidiness. But from the point of view of the plants, they grow stronger and much more resilient and resistant. The more they are scattered, the higher their odds of surviving. Now that I contemplate, I realize that even the individual plants/seeds may not appreciate the benefit of what's happening. They are torn far from their origins, forced into situations that seem extreme, possibly even destroyed by these new environments. But for the seeds that survive, now that's where real growth, strength, and abundance comes from. So beautiful and terrifying. Beyond the beauty of it all is a system and structure that defies understanding. Okay, what if this is all a natural process? There are signs of something behind it all, but well-hidden signs. So, well, if I look at all of this, the cell, the tree, the water, the seeds, the hub, the health, even the abductions, well, there seems to be a grand system or plan. The plan doesn't take me into account. It is unemotionally intent on the health of something much bigger. That may hurt my feelings, but, well, what am I in the entire scheme of the universe? I have no idea what, if anything, might have put this process into motion, but that is irrelevant. Tomorrow I will talk with CW. He could be swayed from his battery plan. Okay. I assume that would be Farley's journal. This is her orders. Why would battery plant? Why this? He wants us to connect a battery. Okay, more. Oh. Cerberus BS Wolf. But that's not a reading book, that's just a looking book. I can't quite make this out. Adventures in the Age... Oh. Well, isn't that cute? Okay. I think this was a real book. Like a choose-your-own-adventure? Gonna have to look into that. Unwritten is what that says, right? Okay. I want to say definitely, but I don't remember if I came... It doesn't sound familiar. I think I would have perked up if I heard Miss Choose Your Own Adventure book, you know? That would have been something I would have delved further into. And now I will! So, yeah. Hey, so I did look into it. And it turns out I was totally wrong about this being a choose-your-own-adventure book. What I'm looking at here is a full-fledged Myst tabletop RPG. Which, I gotta say, kind of intrigued. And we have this over here. Arai Larval Notes by CF. Takes about 3 to 5 days for a single Arai larvae to change colors after being moved to a new surface. Pulsing stops immediately upon removal from Kaptar, induced by polyarchs. Cloning has been extremely easy, like potatoes easy. Organics, plant fiber yellow, bone light yellow, Arai encrustment green, metals gold, pink, copper, red, orange, titanium orange, silver red, aluminum red, orange. Okay. Oh, I get it. These are what you're attaching the larva to, and that's what the colors they change to based off of that. Mofang Tech magenta, Villain extrusions near white, granite, I guess for lack of a better description, Kaptar teal blue, sandstone, Hunrath light blue, Soarstone, Mofang deep purple, shale, Marais very light blue, polyarch pods always purple. To do. I'm curious about the effect of combining various base surface. Still a bit odd experimenting with the life forms. The light they emit is handy given our limited supply of diesel fuel. Okay, and there's no back to this. Okay. Don't know if I'm supposed to recognize any of these people. I wonder if this was like a backer thing. I mean, it's always a nice, easy thing to do of putting concept art into a game as like art. We saw that a lot in the Myst series. And we're seeing some of it here, I think. But I could also see something like, hey, give us money and we'll put your artwork in the game. Somewhere. You pay them for your art job or something. Okay, now this is my kinda... Yeah. Now that's art. I know art when I see it, and that is art. Okay. Don't think there's anything else that I can interact with down here. I'm just giving everything the old once over. Now, the question is, do we take this to teleport back, or do we go the long way around? Because right now, we've put something back in its place, or, you know, at least one thing back in its place. What is it going to look like over there in Kaptar? It feels like I should leave this as is. Which means we've got a nice long trip to be had. Oh, one more thing, actually. I know I have a picture of it, but I want to just think on this for a moment. Presumably, you could say that this is the number 28? That there's something smudged off here? If we're looking at this like a digital number display. Or it could be 2E. It could be just exactly what it looks like. So if I were to go to my pictures, and we look at this, no, that doesn't seem like it would make any sense. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for there to just be like a random number on some old rusty toy. And that's like the big secret to solving something else. That doesn't quite seem right. But yeah, I don't know what I came down here for besides a little bit of a lore dump again. You know? And some nice little Easter eggs. We did get this information about the larva, but I don't know how I would apply this. I may be able to just go and be like, oh, these are this color. That means they're on this material. And probably this is from that planet or something, you know? I don't know. Okay. Well. Come. Get it. Okay, now I'm gonna have to think about what the heck we do now. We are at a position where we have access to a machine that we input. Was this always here? Huh. Okay. We input something into the machine, like a code, and that would open the door, and then we'd be able to explore that world. We also have the deal with that Russian device and a path we have yet to explore in Kaptar. I don't know if we have information that's useful for that or not. I want to say no. I'm just... I feel like we've exhausted everything at the moment, unless I can put some pieces together. on some stuff. And I don't know if that's right, because I feel like I didn't get enough. Anyway, we're gonna be going back to the scrapyard. That's our teleport point, is somewhere up here. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, so, good news. It did not take me 10 minutes to figure out how to navigate Hunrath and get to the teleport that I wanted to get to. I just took a little look at the map, and I was like, okay, yep, go here, boom, go there, boom, hit this, boom, all good. Bad news, when I did that final boom, my game crashed. Fatal error pop-up came up, and I don't like that. So we'll see how things go. I don't like when games crash. Very scary. You never know what's going down with the ship, so to speak. But I think everything's alright. My save still in working order and all that, so that's good. So what the heck? What the heck? I'm gonna go and see how things look now that we swapped those 2 points. Because maybe that's gonna be the answer to all of my problems. But if not, then I'm just gonna have to mull some things over, I suppose. And maybe another trip to the Obduction Exploration Guide will be in order. Okay. So... skip you, and we come up here. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well. Let's take one last look at the map. Where... Okay. Am I blind? Yes, I am. Here it is. That's way further down than I thought it would be. I didn't take that many pictures, did I? I guess I did. Alright, so... we were over in this vicinity, one of these places here. We came over here. Yeah. By the way, this we use the bridge. We get to the edge of the dome. We come over here. I think that's done. That there's nothing else for us to do over here. Can't get back across or anything from there. So boom, ba-doom. It almost looks like it's showing a loop, but that's not right. Yeah, it really feels like I'm at a position where I'm supposed to be able to figure this out. Just keep going. Anything up here for me to look at then? Okay. Please help me out here, strange machine. Okay, where are you gonna take me? Yeah, I actually did not notice those stairs before, so the map helped, showing me that, you know, there's a place to go, and I know where we are. But I don't know how this helps me. Unless... Okay, alright. So that's something. Maybe I was worrying for nothing, and we're still good. The answer may yet still be ahead. Wish it would let me move. I kind of want to look more out the sides here. Okay. It's my one complaint about elevators is they don't let you see out of a lot of them. Some of them they've got like the glass doors and stuff, and I like those. But most of the time it's just, no, you're in a box now. And you're gonna live here forever. Oh wait, we've magically teleported you to another floor. And it's magic because you couldn't perceive it. Let's not mess with that just yet, but I think I can see where that's gonna teleport us. If I were a betting man. Hmm? Why are you doing this to me? Huh? Okay. So we don't even care. Okay, anyway, so we came down here, and we went across, and we took the catwalks, and we just passed this. So, trying to go over this way, it's blocked? Am I seeing that right? We come out here, and this is the left path. So this is the path to the tree, and we can't open it from this side. How the heck do we actually get to the tree? That's going to be interesting. I am almost positive that I know what the deal is with this. And I think what I'm going to want to do is just save this for next episode. Let you guys mull this over. See if you can come to the same conclusion I did. And we'll all come back next time and see if we were right. Okay? Okay. So with that, I love ya. Mwah. I'll see you next time. Game, please don't ever crash again. Bye-bye.